Looking back at my life, it's hard to say why I've done the things that I've done. But maybe the only answer that I really have is for justice, if you believe in that type of thing. It was New Jersey, 1924. Me and my partner had finally made a big break on an international drug trader. As we followed him, I stumbled. I urged my partner to keep going. Good boy. Once I got up, that's when I heard the shots. And I only came to death and sadness. I held him in my arms for the last few breaths that he had, and I said goodbye. Funny what that can do to a man. It was December. I'd gone 2 months without any type of trace of the killers. I was upset. Until a few days later when I got an anonymous phone call from a man telling me that an abandoned theater building had been occupied by some strange characters. I thought it was worth checking out. For an abandoned building, she was in pretty good shape. It took a while finding my way inside. But once I did, it was dark, and I was pretty surprised that anyone would be hiding out here. I decided to lockpick a door. Good thing I hadn't forgotten all my skills. I knew it was important to work fast. Who knew what kind of people would be around to find me, and what they would do to me when they found me. I made my way into what seemed like a control room, and then as I opened up the dark doors, I found myself in a stage with abandoned cameras and lights. I had no leads. Being here seemed like a waste of time, and pretty soon I would have to call it a dead end. But then I heard a sound. My God, maybe coming here wasn't a waste of time. Maybe I actually might have something useful. But I knew to be cautious. The odds were against me. I remember walking down dark, black hallways, finding nothing, being once again discouraged. But another sound presented itself. I walked onto what seemed to be a giant stage, filled with only ghosts. I knew someone was here. The lights were on. There'd be no other explanation. But then the lights turned off, and I knew I was in a trap. I walked towards the light. I wasn't sure what to make of any of it. But then it hit me, literally. I'm not too sure how long I was out of it, but it sure as hell hurt. I was surrounded by darkness and tied to a chair that I had seen before. But that's when I saw her. She walked out of the darkness and into the light. I remember seeing her face. She had sat down across from me. I was concerned. She explained that she was sorry for killing my partner, and that it was not intentional. She commended me on my bravery and effort to find the killer, but she had other plans. She said killing me would be too stupid. Instead, she'd send me to Cuba to work as a drug lackey. I kindly refused. At that point, I think I had struck a chord with her. She wasn't exactly happy about what I had to say, and instead got up and made it very clear to me that I would be going to Cuba, and I would be working with drugs, even if it was in a body bag. Damn, I always knew how to speak with the ladies. After that, it was the last time that I had ever seen her. Looks like I hadn't made a good first impression. I waited for a few hours, watching the men clean up. At this point, they had made it like they were never here. Then a large man with glasses came out. He was in all black. Very intimidating. When he sat down, he didn't say much to me. He's quite the honorable man. He felt that since I wanted my freedom, that I should be allowed to fight for it, even if it was inevitable that I would lose. I was confused with the man. He got up, and he began to untie me. I was shocked, not only because this man was trying to free me, but what would happen afterwards. I got up, took my hat, and prepared myself for the fight of my life. He welcomed me in open arms, and I welcomed him with a fist. He had been stunned, but I could tell no real damage had been done. He smiled at me. He knew that this would be a fight. Looking back at it now, I had no clue what I was in for. That was the first time that I had ever killed a man with my bare hands. I left that stage, leaving another ghost behind with it. At the end of the day, we had collected over 200 pounds connected with Colombia. The FBI took over the case, and I was bumped up to commissioner. Happy ending. Not for everyone, though. The man that I had killed was connected as her lover. I guess that's as close as I would get to being even with him. I never found the killer. I wish I had. And now when I look back at my tale, I realize that all the things that I've done in my life have never been for justice. It was to avenge my partner and remember him and remember the good that we did.
I'm ready.
That's what I fight for. That's what I've lived for.
Okay.